I'm trying low latency mode for the first time. We're going to review Schematic and PCB Design first. In Ki CAD, or Ki CAD, which is something I've never used before. So that's exciting. I had a look through the schematic against this reference design, and that seems fine. Other than, as discussed, you could probably make the capacitors all the same, just to save having to buy different components without any real need to do so. But the pinout looks okay. It's got that cross thing where some of the pairs are spaced over each other, which is an annoying thing of Ethernet connectors. I think it's back from when they were used for telephone lines or something like that. On the PCB, it probably would be a good idea to make the mounting holes also the earth net. And I'd make it a bit stronger too, because you've got this thin track joining these things which are coupling down to earth to the earth or shields on the Ethernet connectors. So I'd make that a bit fatter, and probably would put this over here, fill that with solid copper, and then fill this with solid copper, and maybe rotate these also so that they point upwards, so you can have a really strong low impedance connection to the earth, and then perhaps put a thick track around the edges of the board which go to the earth connectors, that bring the earth to the mounting holes. So if you mount it on a steel panel, it will all get earthed. As my understanding is, the reason for those is to couple static discharge or other potential differences down to earth, so that you don't arc over the transformers in the Ethernet magnetics. Because that will be picking up any interference coupled in on this side. You'll get directed down to ground, and then the same on this side, down to ground or earth, and not stressing this isolation barrier. Track's generally okay, but I'd make that a bit straighter. You don't really want to have copper encroaching on the areas of the other pads. So I'd have that going straight up and then bending over so there's room for this to come in. Because you're trying to put quite a lot of power through this, probably would try and get these wires closer to the pads and then make these power tracks a lot thicker on the bottom. Since you've got almost the whole bottom part to play with, you might as well make it real fat, because otherwise they're just etching off copper and throwing it away, so you might as well make use of it, making that a big solid thing. That there's reasonable, but you could probably make that a bit thicker as well. Since this needs to be 150 watts, I think, which will be several amps at 48 or 50 volts. Oh, you're going to use 4 ounce on the board. Probably wouldn't recommend that. Well, you might have trouble with they might have trouble with etching these thin gaps if you're using such thick copper. I'd maybe go to 2 ounce maybe. Is that what's recommended? I was wondering, is there a measurement tool that you can use for measuring the minimum distance between two nets? Oh yeah. I don't know what that means because I work in thou when doing PCBs. 0.17. Yeah, that's a pretty small gap. I think you'd want to space those out a bit more. You would want a minimum of probably, if you're going to use thicker copper, like 2 ounce or more, you'd probably want 10 thou minimum, which would be 0.254. Otherwise, you might get little strands of copper between them. Okay, 8 thou. That's still less than, oh no, that might be around 8 thou, is it? Okay, might be alright then. And they'll probably electrically test the boards, or if not, you should ask them to if it's an option, so that you know there's going to be no shorts on it when you get it. Every now and then there can be problems with the etching and you end up with microscopic bits of copper between the tracks that you can't actually see, but when you measure between the tracks it's shorted. One way you can get rid of that is charge a capacitor up to 20 volts or so and join it across the tracks and you will explode it, but yeah, it's best to not need to do any of that. Yeah, it makes a nice little crack, and then that identifies for you where the problem is, usually at a corner or at like an inside corner. You see a little flash. I've only experienced that one time, and we ended up just throwing away all the boards because there were too many shorts on them and getting everything remade. Is there anything important that we need to think about here? Probably just straightening that out would be most important because it might short out easily otherwise, because presumably that line there indicates where the solder mask gap is, maybe, which might mean you have some exposed copper along that edge without the solder mask on it. So it would be worth tidying that up and probably make those power inputs are a bit thicker, make the earth a bit stronger and have it going to some of the mounting pads. It's good you have revisions and names on it, that's good. You might want to make it clearer which one you plug the dish into, because it'd be that one. It is there, because bad things might happen if you plug something else in there, since you're putting pretty unprotected power supply onto it. Yeah, it's probably all good to go. Yeah, so maybe make that writing a bit bigger. Are you going to make lots of these and have people who don't know about it installing them? Because if that's the case, you might want to make that and caution labels a bit bigger so that there's no confusion about which way around to plug it in. Similarly for the power supply, if you can afford to make the board bigger, you could bring it out to there and then label along the front edge of the connectors, so you don't have to look past the connector to see it. So as you're bringing the wire up to it, it should be very obvious which one you're about to connect it to. But that depends if you want to put it in a case. If it's going to go into a case rather than screwed onto a panel, then how it is probably fine, and then clearly label on the outside of the case. So I assume that would be protruding so it can go through apertures in the side of a box. Good. The length of the tracks is probably okay because of the way these come around and those go around. There's probably not too much length disparities there. You might want to put a little kink in that and the innermost ones to balance them out of it. I don't know if there's any length matching tools in this software which you can select something and it will tell you all the lengths so you can see what you need to do. If the cables are going to be really short runs, then it will be less of an issue, I think. But if you're trying to stretch it out to 100 meters or so, you want to be quite careful about that because you won't have so much margin to play with. Yeah, that's good. Avoiding the wires. I'd probably, for these, want to... Oh, they don't... That one might be a problem. You don't want to have your wires close to the pads, the exposed copper on the pads, because when you're soldering it, you'll find, especially if it's machine assembled, some of the solder paste will pour off and go down the hole, and then you could end up with tri-joints. If you're hand soldering, it's not so much a problem, but good practice is to keep the wires and other things outside of the pad areas. Okay, so not too great a distance. I don't know much about the margins of Ethernet. I've only done 2 designs before, and the first one I did, they cancelled the project after the prototypes arrived and they never got tested. The more recent one I did works, supposedly, but I don't think they've done severe testing of it yet. Yeah, if you can straight and squared up, that's fine. So it's good. Good first go, I think. If you've never done PCB before. So what would you do to generate to generate Gerber files? Probably this. Gerbers. And you want drill files as well. Let's have a look at this to see what happens. Oh, so they call it front and back, not top and bottom. Paste, you only would want to paste. Probably don't want any paste, because you're not going to be getting a stencil made, so you probably won't need the paste. Just want the coppers. There's probably no bottom side text, so you won't need a bottom silk screen. You want top and bottom solder mask, that will be the green part, or whatever color you choose to have it. Cuts, I suppose. Will that be the edge? Or will be any routes? Is there a separate thing for edge? I'm used to the things that Altium and Protel have, where the names are all different. Should we try making this and see what happens? Yeah, okay. Oh, it's going to do drill files as well. Well, that's good. You put them in the same folder. So the Gerber files define all of the tracks, pads, and masks and things, and then the drill files tells where the holes are, slots, edge, and what size they are. So what do you want here? Suppose that's fine. What you can do is plot. Test them on your PCB manufacturers of choice website, because they normally have a viewer. Did it make drill files? Yeah, so it makes a separate file for plated and non-plated. Do you have any non-plated holes? Those ones. Okay. Yeah. PCB GoGo. Use those a few times at work and they do a pretty good job. Wow, it's lagging the computer. It's a really hard website to open. Okay, I think we clicked an ad or something. There's no ad blocker in a sandbox. You have to type in some stuff. Is there a... What I wanted to do was try loading it in their viewer. Here we go, online Gerber viewer. If something's there, can you zoom into it? Maybe, is there a board outline defined? Is that something that we need to do? Maybe it's that. Maybe we try again. There we go, so it made this other file. No, I thought that would zoom in to the board area. It seems like it can't find the board area. No, it's not very convenient, is it? Ah, look, there you go. Just need a bigger monitor. I had Altium on a computer, I could try it in the viewer there that I understand. Yeah, or Chrome or Firefox or something. Ah, you have to turn stuff on. Do you? Presumably those things are clickable? I don't know. You can play around and ask some questions, and I can put Altium on a computer and try and test the Gerber files for you later if you like. Although that might be more difficult because there's probably a Gerber viewer in this as well. Oh, I think I opened another thing. Or it crashed or something. Yeah, I can do another quick review after updates have been made to it. Oh, lots of stuff's happening now. I'm just not sure if the board outline's defined properly. How did you put that in there? See, because it's got margin on a purple looking thing. Oh, edge cutout. Oh, I see, a setback outline. Perimeter definition. Well, that should be fine then, like that. Yeah, are there any more questions that I can answer right now? Otherwise we're going to play some Tetris. Okay, that's good. Make the capsule the same, yeah, if you like. Doesn't really matter that much, but I would do it because it means less components to buy, which makes everything easier. Good to consolidate things as much as possible. Less fiddling around, less things to order. And when you're assembling it, you can just put all three on in one go without fiddling around. And if you're getting it automated assembly, they'll like that too, because it means less reels to load in the machine. Possibly you want to check Mouser DigiKey element 14. I guess Octopart will tell you who's got it in stock. Oh, it comes from Coilcraft. You might even be able to buy it directly from them. Pretty sure they have stuff available. Yeah, look at that. You can buy it from them. 365 in stock. That might be the easiest. Shipping might be a bit expensive. They might even do free samples. Well, that's good. If you can buy all the parts from one place, that makes things a lot easier. Right. What I wanted to see was, does the sound go out of sync while this is just running for ages? Yeah, it's possible if Skynet or whoever it was wanted that 150 watt thing of their own design and it's not a standard thing, they might have got Coilcraft to make it for them. This Coilcraft will do custom magnetics like that. And then if it becomes more popular or more companies want to use it, then other manufacturers will probably make an equivalent. Yeah, it's pretty grungy. It's to keep the cats warm when there's snow around. I see, yeah, that's probably fine. Well, I guess where you're putting it, there's not going to be so much snow, so it won't have to run the heaters and won't draw that much current. Okay, we're going to do a practice of Tetris. 150 watts continuously. That's interesting. What's it doing? Already messed it up because I'm distracted. I see. I guess it depends what the angle of the satellite is, whether it has to crank up its transmitter really hard. To reach way out into space, bounce it off the moon a few times. I see. Well, it's good they're making improvements to it, because 150 watts is quite a lot to have continuously for internet, but I guess in the places you use it, people are willing to pay for it because there's no other choice. That would be quite expensive to run continuously. Yeah. Well, we all used to pay about that much a month for internet, didn't we? Is the new version not widely available yet? Is that why you need to bother doing this converter rather than just having the other type of dish? Because I assume the 48 volt supply is the more normal PoE that you can use more off-the-shelf stuff. Ah, okay, they want you to use their expensive thing. So it's like Apple. We're not going to use USB-C on our phones, we'll keep this weird thing because we like it, because it snaps off in the phone and you have to buy new stuff. That's the way we want it. I might not be able to read the chat so much when I play now. Already rigged it. Like a mini HDMI. Ah, I remember, yeah. That was being discussed, their special cable that you get. Yeah, probably because it needs to be fatter for the extra power, and not using those crappy cables that seem to be everywhere now that are super thin and flimsy. Yeah, disgusting. it's dodgy. Shorts out regular PoE, but pretty sure regular PoE is designed to be able to handle that kind of thing. It's just to handle people putting dodgy stuff into it.
Close your eyes so you see my vision. Unite the souls so there's no division. Look into the future, we see all seasons. Aiming for the top, but what's the reason?
What a mess. Oh no, ruined it there. Can't get that over there. Oh well. Yeah, passive dodgy things like what you use on security cameras quite often. They put 12 volts into it. The AliExpress stuff though, like 12 volt random security cameras that are wide open to the internet. Maybe it's a lag problem on the computer that's doing the streaming, because all that time we just had it sitting there, there was no problem with the sound getting out of sync, but now that I'm playing and there's lots of stuff going on, yeah, it's no good.
so you see my vision. Unite the souls so there's no division. Look into the future, we see all seasons. Aiming for the top, but what's the reason? Hands to the sky and realize we're free. We become the legends we were meant to be. Now open your eyes and you will see. I can lead you home, just follow me.
Correct that. No! Oh no, I'm gonna lose now.
Open your eyes and you will see. I can lead you home, just follow me.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything like that. This is GTX 1070, I think. Bought specifically for playing Tetris. Why is that so slow? 20 to 40 frames per second, just zoom. Yeah, probably the Bitcoin. Maybe that's what the dishes are doing, since they need 150 watts. waste. not too bad. Clicking the wrong one in there. What is going on? Gotta do the dolphins proud on this next level, but we're completely screwed up going into it, unfortunately. Over there. There's some lag going on, I think. Tidy it up a bit. Too bad there. 19 lines. Pretty average. Yeah, we'd keep able to keep consistent hole-free stacks. Oh no! Oh, I kept it all good through the zone and then wrecked it straight away after. Jump it up there. What gap did I recommend? Yeah, 10,000.254. That would be what I'd design for by default, unless it really needs to be high density for some reason. Well, low density stuff might go 12 or 15 thou. That's kind of been industry standard small gap for a long time. So now we got all those BGAs and other disgusting things that are wrecking all that. But you never really want to go smaller than you need to. It just adds unnecessary difficulty to manufacturing and potential unreliability. Although that's probably less of an issue these days because so many people are doing stuff at a finer pitch. Yeah, it's a trouble, yeah, especially, yeah, trying to get everything in there. Yeah, just be happy you're not trying to do a USB-C connector. Those seem to be extremely difficult in that regard. I've never tried to do one, but I've looked at them on designs and it's pretty dodgy, especially when you got the 100 watts of power that you need to route out of these ultra tiny pads. Okay, yeah. I think that will be wise if you want to use such thick copper. Your heating specification 10 degrees, that's pretty low. You could say do it for a temperature rise of like 40 degrees. Although then you got more voltage drop. Depends what your ambient temperature is going to be. You know, good quality PCB material will be able to run 50, 60, 70, 80 degrees, no problems. But you probably want to stick it in some cabinet out in some farm somewhere, so it might be pretty hot in the sun. Yeah, okay, so Yeah, keep it conservative then for that. Did you use a PCB trace width calculator to determine that stuff? Okay, this should be fine then. See, the wires seem complicated. Yeah, you'd just use a similar clearance to wires than you would to other things, but keeping them outside of the pad area is more important. Although for your hand soldering, it won't be such an issue. Everything is so dependent on everything else, it's quite difficult to define hard rules. What you could do is double up your wires, especially for your power supply connections. I probably should have said that before. If you put 2 or 3 in a row coming off your power pins, that will save you. Yeah, because the wires don't carry as much current as a track will, because it relies on the through-hole plating, which is usually not as thick as the copper on the surface. So it would be good to double up your wires or triple them up if there's space. Oh. I'll cover that one. of a mess.
We embark strong. We are the light, we're shining like no other. Like diamonds in the rough. We found our way to colors. Now we're never gonna give it up. We're never gonna give it up. No, we're never gonna give it up.
Okay, that's good. I could check it. Oh. Yes, surely. This is about to be finished after 2 more levels, so I can take a look then. play has been a little bit average. So carried on and not lost the whole way through so far. One last level to go. Maybe I should have rebooted the computer before this. It's kind of laggy, which wasn't happening last time. A mess right at the end, which is not good. took too long that time.
What could you be afraid
Yeah, not too bad. At least we got through without dying, which is quite an achievement. So we're going to bring back this thing, maybe? No, not that thing. This thing. Paste. They've removed the icons. It's dumb. Don't use Windows 11. It's a piece of crap. At least you can get Explorer Patcher, which will put back a usable taskbar. It still won't fix the start menu, unfortunately. It still remains a waste of time, but at least you can click on these icons again, which is much needed. Yeah, we'll get Explorer Patcher, and this same person also made a thing to remove the round corners, which is also good. So, well worth it to make it useful. So there's a new version now to have a look at. I see. Yeah. I won't do that, I guess. Yeah, well, I thought I'd give Windows 11 a go. I've had it on auxiliary computers for, well, since that leaked version. But when I found that Explorer Patcher to fix the taskbar, I was then able to use it on my main computer, because it's actually able to use it when you can click on buttons on the taskbar, which is quite important. Oh, that's pretty good, nice and solid. Good solid earths. Because you're on the bottom side, you might as well just take that across there. It doesn't need to dodge anything. Route tracks. Add a filled zone. Bottom. Really, page up and page down is zoom in and out in ProShell. Okay, and it's start, it changed layers or minus and plus. This looks too hard. I'm used to just going PF, place fill, and then you just click and drag and it assigns it to the net of whatever. Do you push 3 to go to 3D? No. How do you deselect? Okay. Back in the good old days of Protel 99, which you can still use on Windows 10 and presumably 11, the only way to deselect is to go XA. You might as well just keep it that thickness and go through there and through there, because there's no point in necking that down. But it'll probably be fine. Well, it's not bad. It's just you get used to it. Yeah, and alt backspace for undo, obviously. At least they keep all those same things in Altium, so once you've learned Protel you can use Altium, which is the current version. Anyway, it doesn't really matter here. Look at that, 20 frames per second. It's supposed to be a simulated graphics card in Windows Sandbox. So that's straight, not barging over to the other pad, so that's good. Yeah, do you want to shout me one? Well, because I only have laptops, it has to be good enough to work over Thunderbolt, so I'm probably nearing the bandwidth limit anyway. Although modern Thunderbolt is pretty good, because you get dedicated bandwidth per port. Gigabyte Thunderbolt enclosure. I have some Akitio. I've got a Node Lite, a Node, and a Node Pro in a big stack over there. One of them's got the HDMI capture, and the other ones are graphics cards for each computer. Anyway, the board looks good, so that is good. Yeah, Nooks are pretty good. They have some pretty grunty ones. I've got here the GPD WinMax 2021, which is pretty good when it works and quite annoying some of the time. There's a Malnet icon. That's good. You can probably import some artwork and it will turn it into lines or whatever for you. Okay, I'm not sure if there's anything else you need to do on that. Got the same capacitors everywhere. Got thick enough tracks. Probably all I'd recommend is just putting that through, and you might as well bring that closer just so that the neck down part is less. Could also make this track the thickness of, or the width of that one, since it's going a long distance up to there. for both of them. Just some extra goodness to it. This could go on forever finding little tiny things, but I think it's pretty good. Maybe those designators. Gotta keep them all, the designators, pointing in the same direction. Usually 2 directions is fine, so up and across is good. Doesn't matter that much since all your resistors are the same value and all your capacitors are the same value. And that's got pin 1 indicated with that dot, so that's good. It should be easy to align. Maybe the software is a bit stink. If you hold down control it will stop snapping so much. You could probably set a finer grid too, and that would make things easier. I don't know how to do any of the stuff anyway. Probably to make your Gerbers, the best thing to do would be to find a guide that for Ki CAD that tells you what steps and what things to click. For PCB GoGo, they might even have it on their website, the instructions for how to do it. There's probably usually some guides on how to do that stuff. Look at that. Maybe just follow this. Oh, look at that. You just click all layers and they'll just work it out for you. That's pretty funny. I think give it that many details. And then do the drill files. With PCB GoGo, after you've placed the order, someone will get in touch with you after they've checked it over, and then if there's anything that they need to change, they'll ask you to do that and explain what the problem is, and then once they're happy with it, then you pay for it. The length was told to us at some point. There's too much in the chat. Anyway. So you want normal FR4, one design in the panel, some kind of size of it. You wanted 5, just singled, double-sided, 1.6 thick PCB material, minimum spacing, minimum hole size, I don't know, that's fine. Green will be the cheapest and quickest. None of those. Hassle will be fine. Probably don't need it lead free. But whatever, either of those. We want 4-ounce copper. That's going to change the price of it. And might increase the lead time. And then you come over here. Well, yeah. So this is gonna cost some amount of money. $203. That's because of the thickness. See, if you did it on a normal 1 ounce, it would be $5. But if you want these weird things, 2 ounce probably won't be too bad. $33. But 4 ounces, very unusual, $200. If you want it purple, probably add another $20. Yeah, it's quite a bit. You might want to review your track width to not need such thick plating. Oh, unless you don't mind paying $200 for it and waiting 3 to 4 days. So I think that's all good. If you make it thinner, yeah. Oh look, there's a weekly ritual. That's exciting. Weekly ritual. Oh, this has got an event on. Let's play this really hard and get some points. Yeah. What's you want me to check again after updating something? But the weekly ritual has begun. Yeah, this is already wrecked anyway. Oh yeah, if you use that Explorer patcher, and then you go properties, you can put back the normal thing in your... See, it's got these options so you can have the normal right click menu. I don't know what one it is. I think it's that. And then if you restart that, and then everything's good again and you don't have to deal with those stupid things that are hard to use. Anyway. Oh yeah, that's fine. Those are fatter, are they? Wider? Better. What else changed? That's a very naughty thing. Doesn't matter so much these days. Generally you don't want to put angles less than 90 degrees. You'd miter them off. Or come in at 90 degrees like that. I don't know, it's a potential risk that the acid gets trapped in there during etching, and then it can like fester away a bit. But yeah, same thing there. Depends how picky you want to be. Well, when I started, I did a schematic and then gave it to someone to review, and they circled every single designator on the schematic because they were not perfectly centered on the components. So I had to go back and realign them all before he would accept it and sign it off. So you end up being quite stingy when reviewing people's stuff because you've had to go through so much pain over the years. It's because it's an art form, and so you take pride in the way that you produce it. Even though a lot of that's just cosmetic. But yeah, that looks good. Well, you develop good habits and then you learn the software, and it's not that difficult to make everything nice from the start every time. I've had to deal with designs that other people have worked on where they decided to change the grid or turn the grid off on the schematic, and then when you go to place a new component or change something, it looks like it lines up, but it's like 1 pixel off, and then the netlist doesn't work out, and then you end up with errors on the board. Yeah, only $800, so it's fine. So I think that's fine. Is that all? That's the update. It's all good. It's all awesome. It's gonna work first time. Oh, by default, tinted vias. What that means is that they'll put green stuff over your vias so they won't be exposed for probing. I don't know if that will change the cost if you change that. No, it doesn't change. They'll just be doing it with silkscreen, so you can choose that. If you want your vias to have the ring copper exposed, you can have them not covered. If they're plugged, that will be more expensive, but you don't need to do that. If you plug them, that way you can then stick vias and pads for under your BGAs and things, so the solder paste won't go through them. That's good. Yeah, I'm happy to help. I was just seeing if there was an electrical test option on this, so you know you're getting a good board. Doesn't look like it. Maybe they just electrically test everything. It means that they would go using a flying probe tester. It will have some probes that it joins onto all the different nets to see if there's any short circuits. Yeah, so click not covered, and don't need a stencil. You can get them to assemble stuff for you if you can provide a good BOM for the materials. X-ray would be if you got BGAs or QFN type things that you need to inspect after they've assembled it to make sure all the soldering went right. Okay, yeah. Then I'll say it's good that you changed all the capacitors to the same, because that's going to be one less thing you have to set up. Yeah, at work we've got these guys to assemble prototypes for us, and it's worked out good. I'm gonna get a new high score here. Not like that. I don't know if they'll assemble the through-hole parts for you though. I'm not sure. I don't know if they have wave soldering available for soldering the through-hole parts, or if you can ask them to do it by hand. Not sure. Yes.
So you see my vision, unite the souls so there's no division. Look into the future, we see all seasons, aiming for the top, but what's the reason? Hands to the sky and realize we're free. We become the legends we were meant to be. Now open your eyes and you will see. I can lead you home, just follow me.
Yeah, he wants something to do, doesn't he? Okay.
Close your eyes so you see my vision. Unite the souls so there's no division. Look into the future, we see all seasons, aiming for the top, but what's the reason? Hands to the sky and realize we're free. We become the legends we were meant to be. Now open your eyes and you will see. I can lead you home, just follow me.
Oh no, we made a hole. We just start again. I wonder if anybody else is watching the stream. Doesn't think so. Not many people would like to come watch me play Tetris. Yeah, usually some regulars, although I didn't advertise this one. Well, I did advertise it to some people, but they'll be asleep at the moment.
Close your eyes so you see my vision. Unite the souls so there's no division. Look into the future, we see all seasons, aiming for the top, but what's the reason?
It does, but at the moment it says there's no people watching and you're here, so I don't think its stats are very good.
I can lead you home, just follow me.
There's one person came in right near the start, and then half an hour or so later someone came in for just a couple of minutes each time, and that's it. That shows. run out of space. Oh no, I put the wrong thing down the hole. I'm gonna start again now. We could continue maybe. I think I already hit the top, yeah.
Close your eyes so you see my vision. Unite the souls so there's no division. Look into the future, we see all seasons. Aiming for the top, but what's the reason? Hands to the sky and realize we're free. We become the legends we were meant to be. Now open your eyes and you will see. I can lead you home, just follow me.
Oh no.
Close your eyes so you see my vision. Unite the souls so there's no division. Look into the future, we see all seasons. Aiming for the top, but what's the reason? Hands to the sky and realize we're free. We become the legends we were meant to be. Close your eyes so you see my vision. Unite the souls so there's no division. Look into the future, we see all seasons. Aiming for the top, but what's the reason? Hands to the sky and realize we're free. We become the legends we were meant to be. Now open your eyes and you will see. I can lead you home, just follow me.
Oh, we wrecked it. It's so difficult to play a clean game the whole way through. Oh no. It's gonna fail because there's not enough room there. Oh, we did it! Look at that! New high score! I think we almost doubled the previous high score. Although, because there were some holes in it, it's not the highest score you can easily get. We'll do one of the relax types, and then I'm going to go because it's been long. 2.5 hours. Wait a minute. It's not that delayed. This now. I don't think we can squeeze anything in there. Just wondering if there's a way of like L spinning that into there. Probably have to put another one up there for that. No. Oh, it's a mess. pretty low score compared to usual. Okay, we're gonna do this, and that's the last thing for today. It's not looking very good. Get that in there. Ah, nope. Oh. Oh, I nearly wrecked it. Yeah, Yep, wrecked it. Okay, then we've got to start again. Getting a bit tired, perhaps. Mistake for no reason. score wasn't too bad. Pretty close to the high score. Probably could have got there if we didn't make the holes in it. Got a Z. Okay, that's it for today. It's been a while. So thanks for watching, and we'll do it again sometime, and we'll bring out this next time. Not enough time today. Good. See you later.